Stand by to initiate release sequencer. On my mark. 5.
We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
2. 1. Mark.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mark, a.k.a. Derringer. Today is Sunday, December 23rd, and you are listening to episode 188 of the Instant Action Podcast, your weekly source for PlanetSide news and information. As always, I'm brought to you by great listeners like you via the Support the Show tab on instantactionpodcast.com. So if you guys follow me on Twitter, which I hope you do, you'll note that I did unlock Santa's Little Helper this week, and they said that it's just like the Baron, and yeah, it's just like the Baron. You can wreck people at short range with that thing. I did only unlock it on my Vando character. I haven't decided to whether or not I want to unlock it on NC or TR at this point. I will say, though, that if you're one of the people trying to, push your way through this, it's a hell of a lot easier to complete this round of directives than the Halloween one, at least in my opinion. So much quicker and so much easier to do it. And I know a lot of people had no problems with the Halloween one. Maybe it's just because I'm a bad player that it took me a long time to get as far as I did with the Halloween one and still not finish it, whereas I have dedicated almost no time to the holiday directive, and it was a hell of a lot easier to finish on a character. Just my 2 cents on it. Again, I'm sure some people are going to say, Derringer, you're insane. The Halloween one was simple, and I did it in an hour or did it in a day, and it took me absolutely no time at all. But again, my opinion, the holiday directives were much easier this year than the Halloween one. And that's that, I've got my Santa's Little Helper. I probably won't use it, and that's that. I used it for a little while after unlocking it just to see how it felt regarding the Baron, and yeah, it definitely feels just like the Baron. But other than that, just the normal, been playing a lot of PlanetSide. I'm on vacation right now for a few days with Christmas coming up, and yes, I'll be releasing this show on Christmas Eve on Monday, so you guys have something to listen to maybe while you're driving to your family's house on Christmas Day, because that's what I'm here for. But enough about me. What's in store for this week's show? Well, first I want to talk about the winter extravaganza that was announced last week and what it might mean and what I'm reading into it and stuff like that. Then I want to talk about the test server, and then follow that with the recent class video from the PlanetSide Arena folks, and then finish up this week with some talk about the status of the PlanetSide IP, or intellectual property itself. I've also got a pretty long email from a PS4 player that I want to read and talk about before we end this week's show. So strap in as we hot drop into another episode of the Instant Action Podcast. So like I said, first up this week is the Daybreak Winter Extravaganza that was announced last week. And let's just describe what the Winter Extravaganza is. First of all, it's all the stuff that's going on within the games themselves, because PlanetSide 2 obviously has their holiday directives and their 31 days of Auraximas going on, but it sounds like H1Z1 and DCUO has stuff, EverQuest 2, all those games also have different things or holiday events going on right now as part of their winter extravaganza. But more important than that was Daybreak Games announced a few options to purchase memberships until December 31st within these games themselves. So the first one is they're offering a limited all access or lifetime all access membership. And you heard that correctly. For $299.99 US dollars, so $300, you can purchase a lifetime all-access membership to all of Daybreak's games. So this includes PlanetSide 2, DCUO, EverQuest 2. It doesn't include H1Z1 because you have to purchase that to actually play it. But again, you're getting access to those 4 games. And what they're saying is you don't need to resubscribe. There will not be any more recurring payments. You're just going to have all access all the time. Plus, if you have an active all access membership currently, they'll convert any of your unused time to Daybreak Cash when you upgrade to the offer. But the caveat is that they're only offering 4,000 of these. And that's across all 4 of the games that I just mentioned. So not only will PlanetSide 2 players get access to this, but DCUO, EverQuest, and EverQuest 2 players get access to this as well. And, anybody who's playing, H1Z1, I guess, could get this also, but it's not going to really affect them. It's just going to mean that they're going to get all access to the other 4 games that I just mentioned. So my first thought when this came out was, wow, is this just a straight up cash grab for a failing company or a company on the decline or a company trying to just milk a little bit of money out of, in PlanetSide 2's case, a 6-year-old IP at this point? I wasn't really sure what to think about this lifetime membership. And like I said, it just really felt like a quick cash grab for something that's going on with PlanetSide 2 or Daybreak Games. I mean, there was all that talk about earlier in this year about potentially another company purchasing Daybreak Games. I don't feel that that's the case now, but it was really odd to see them throw out this lifetime all access membership and offer 4,000 of them. But I've seen the updates that have been going on with this, and I mean, as of yesterday, the 22nd, they said that they had sold 3,600 of these memberships. So there are only 400 left when you're listening to this, and I'm sure it's even less than that now. I mean, by the time Christmas is over, they could be completely sold out of these. So just doing the math, by the 3,600 they've sold so far, that's over $1 million that they've made by selling these lifetime memberships. If you divide that by the 5 existing Daybreak games right now, and that's PlanetSide 2, DCUO, EverQuest, EverQuest 2, and H1Z1, I mean, this is a $216,000 cash infusion into all 5 of those different games. I mean, if you want to cut H1Z1 out of it, we're talking a $270,000 cash infusion into PlanetSide 2. And while they may have lost a number of people that were subbing monthly or anything like that, that's not a bad cash grab for PlanetSide 2. I mean, if there was any worry about them not keeping the lights on, which I don't think is a case, this certainly keeps them running for a lot longer than they were before they offered these, and I'm sure it offsets some of the lost revenue that they'd be getting from losing people who are subbing month to month. Now, $300 is a little too rich for my blood to drop all at once, even though access to a lifetime membership certainly is very appealing to me. I mean, I just pay my $14.99 a month and just call it a day because I don't want to front a whole bunch of money like that. I'm perfectly content paying $14.99. I'm sure a lot of people are. But if we kind of dissect this down into what it's worth, I mean, $300, you divide that, the $14.99 by 12, it's $180 basically for a year paying for PlanetSide 2. If you take the 300 divided by the 180, basically one and a half years worth of $14.99 monthly payments is your basic lifetime membership. So in a year, as long as PlanetSide 2 lasts for another year and a half, which I mean, I imagine it most likely will, then the lifetime membership certainly makes sense to people. But it's interesting that this came out when it did. And I mean, ultimately, when they sell all 4,000 of them, which I guarantee they're going to sell all 4,000 of them, I mean, that's $1.2 million that they're going to bring in all at once. They don't have to wait for the month, basically a year and a half to get that cash out of these people. It's going to all drop into them in 1 month. And it's certainly going to make their books look pretty decent at the end of December. I mean, I'm sure they work on a fiscal year anyways, and it goes through June, but certainly $1.2 million hitting the books certainly is not anything to sneeze at. Well, enough talking about the lifetime access membership, because they are also offering for PlanetSide 2 specifically a 12-month all-access membership with a bonus. So if you're not ready to commit to the lifetime, or also if the lifetime ones run out, you can purchase a 12-month all-access membership right now, which you'll get obviously a year of PlanetSide 2, DCUO, EverQuest, EverQuest 2, but you're also going to get a bunch of bonus items as well. You're going to get a bunch of armor and helmet cosmetic bundles. You get the Havoc, the Sigma, and the Dark Stars, and also the Max Armor bundles for those as well. And you're also going to unlock the NS Arsenal bundle, which includes 17 different NS weapons. So we're talking about the Swarm, the Commissioner, Platinum version, the Vandal, the PDW, the NS-11C carbine, the MKV suppressed, the Baron, the NS-11A, the NS-AM7 Archer, the NS-15M2, the Hunter, QCX, the Underboss, the Black Hand, the Annihilator, the Decimator, the Campions, and the Harrower knives. I mean, certainly quite a lot of things, and especially if you're a brand new player to PlanetSide 2 and you just want to, you don't want to go for the lifetime membership, but you want to go for a year for $200, $199. It's certainly worth it if you unlock all of these different weapons at the same time. I mean, getting all these NS weapons is pretty huge, all said and done. And if you're wondering what the value is compared to just paying $14.99 a year, again, we said $14.99 a year is $180 basically. You're getting about $200 worth of PlanetSide 2 items in this bundle. So if you add the 180 plus the 200, you're talking 380. So you're getting basically, you're getting $200 worth of stuff for free for getting this. Plus, you're getting $900 worth of stuff in the other all-access titles, because in addition to getting the PlanetSide 2 stuff in this, you're getting stuff within all the other games as well. So, I mean, if we look at DCO as an example, I mean, you get a bunch of bonus items in the game. I mean, this means nothing to me because I haven't played DCO in forever, but diamond material, white light stream movement style, 350 replay badges, 40 stabilizers, 2 artifact caches, 2 perfect nth metals, and 32 catalyst caches. I mean, you're definitely getting some stuff within all the different games themselves if you jump on these bonuses on top of everything else. Do I think the bonus is as worth it as the lifetime membership? No, but I mean, you're obviously paying $100 more for the lifetime membership than the 1 year. But if you've got $200 to burn, you must have $300 to burn, and I'd probably go with that lifetime membership if you could. But again, like I said, it's a little too rich for my blood. Again, I'd really love to get something like that, but I'm afraid I can't just drop $300 in one fell swoop to purchase this on Daybreak Games. So sorry, guys, if you're listening, I couldn't do it. I bought my daughter a new iPhone for Christmas this year. Oh, shit, she's upstairs. I hope she didn't hear that. She won't listen to this show at all. Worst case, not until after Christmas. So, I mean, I guess I could have foregone that and bought a lifetime membership instead, but then I wouldn't know what to get her. So, yeah, sorry, Daybreak Games. Sorry, Nick. Sorry, Rel. Sorry, Drew. I did not purchase a lifetime membership, but maybe if you guys offer it next year, I'll start saving my ducats. But with that, let's move on to our second topic this week. second topic is going to be a shorter topic. It's just going to be about the test server itself because, in case you guys weren't aware, last Thursday, and so we're talking over a week ago at this point, there was an initial release onto the test server, and it coincided with Nick's producer's letter about the future of PlanetSide 2 in light of PlanetSide Arena. And so the test server is currently down because they pushed some stuff out to it and it's not working. And you can't even log into it. You crash out of it. So this is just my PSA saying don't bother trying to log into the test server right now because you can't. And someone did ask on Reddit what the status of the test server is. And Rel was kind enough to respond to let everyone know that the team is on holiday right now. So we can most likely expect this not to be fixed until the new year. I mean, I was talking to Drew last night. Drew's been doing some live streaming lately. You should check that out if you can. And he did mention to me that he's on holiday through the end of the year. And if he's on holiday, then I'm sure everybody over at Daybreak Games is on holiday. I mean, Reld further said that some people will be coming in periodically to deal with things while they're on break. But again, if anything's currently broken within the game right now, like the test server, you can pretty much assume that nothing is going to be fixed at least through the end of 2018, and look forward to fixes coming fast and furious in 2019 for anything that's going on, specifically the test server. And I'm not going to lie, I'm excited like you guys are just to get onto the test server and check out the DirectX 11 stuff that's supposed to be there right now, because I'd love to see how the game plays at that. But with that, I know a few of you missed Veteran's Voice last week. Romus had to take a little break for work reasons. We'll give him a pass. But he is back this week. So Romus, take it away.
Here we are out on patrol again. Need to clear my head after seeing something rather disturbing. I was out hanging out in the communications room, trying to find a letter. Never mind what the letter's about, Bloggins. Don't give me that look. You just hold the damn microphone. Anyway, saw a damn communication about a soldier who was worried the brass were going to come down hard on him because a bunch of his platoon mates were going to report him for doing something illegal, when in reality, he just did something really sneaky. Don't worry about it. People telling you that you're full of horse shit is something that's fairly normal. Your developers on the battlefield have to take a look at everything that's going on. They know when you've been naughty and when you've been nice. So everybody take care of yourselves this holiday season. I gotta find a way back inside. It's cold enough it's freezing my face off. Back to you, Derringer.
Thanks for that, Romus, and I hope you have a happy holidays too. Stay warm, buddy. With that, next up this week, I wanted to talk about a PlanetSide 2 Arena video that dropped this week, and it was just a little more meat or information about the 3 initial classes that we're going to have to play with in PlanetSide Arena. And the whole thing was narrated by Tony Morton, and if you watch this video, which I'm going to include a link, he is wearing one of the ugliest Christmas suits I have ever seen in my entire life. I don't know what else to say about that. But again, he gave us more information about the 3 classes, which I thought would be important for you guys this week. So starting off with the Assault class, we got to see 3 of the, and this is for each of them, 3 of the different things that make these classes different. So the Assault class, which I initially thought would be much more like heavy assault, it feels like it's more like a light assault class than a heavy assault, which might make some people happy. But the assault class has, first off, an ability to propel itself forward really fast. And yes, that sounds just like ambusher jump jets, and it works very similar to ambusher jump jets. They also have access to a defensive spike, and basically they plant it into the ground, and when they're close to it, it heals them and friendlies. And the kicker to this, though, is if an enemy gets close to you, it sends out it sends a healing wave towards friendlies, but it sends a damaging wave out towards enemies. It's like an orange beam of light that hits them and damages them. That's pretty interesting. We hadn't seen anything like that in PlanetSide 2 besides a pain field, but this is definitely much cooler. Also, the other ability of the Assault is that they're able to run 10 to 20% faster than the other classes, which certainly could give them a little bit of an advantage out in the field itself. Next, the Medic. Their first ability is that they have an area of effect healing ability that they can pop off that heals themselves and friendlies. They're also able to place a shield regeneration totem, and yes, he called it totem. It sounded very World of Warcraft-esque, not PlanetSide-ish. But you're able to drop that down, and it produces a little bubble, just like in PlanetSide 2, where when you're in it, your shields will regenerate quickly. And medics also have the option to revive people quicker, and also they're able to open up legendary airdrops and chests quicker than either the Assault or the Engineer class. So the fact that medics can revive quicker does lend more credence to the fact that all classes are going to be able to revive in this game. Finally, the third and last class is the Engineer, and yes, this is the class that I will be playing the most when PlanetSide Arena launches. They're first able to deploy the Spitfire turret, so Beepy is making his way to PlanetSide Arena. They're also able to deploy a wall, basically the barrier. It looks a little bit cooler, and it's a little bit bigger and longer, taller and longer than the one in PlanetSide 2. And the last ability is that they're able to regenerate their personal shields faster than either the Assault or the Medic class. So there are the three classes for PlanetSide Arena that we're getting to start with. And that's certainly more information than we had previously. Again, it really makes me think or say that I'm playing the Engineer more than anything else. I mean, I play Light Assault and I play Medic in PlanetSide 2, but Engineer is my first love in PlanetSide 2. So I can definitely see myself, especially after seeing this little video, playing the Engineer in PlanetSide Arena as well. Again, just a small little tidbit from PlanetSide Arena, and let's move to our fourth and final topic this week. So that last topic is about Daybreak Games' ultimate plans, and are they planning on selling off the IP or intellectual property of PlanetSide 2? And this was really posted on Reddit, where somebody asked, and who was it? It was Equinub asked, is their ultimate plan to sell off the IP of PlanetSide, sell off their IPs? And this includes EverQuest, PlanetSide 2, H1Z1, etc. And he posted a link or an image from a recent Glassdoor review of Daybreak Games. If you guys aren't familiar with Glassdoor is, it allows people to post reviews regarding a company they work for, or a company that they used to work for. And this one was posted recently by an ex-employee in California who didn't recommend Daybreak Games, had a negative outlook, and disapproved of the CEO of Daybreak Games. And they said that they worked there more than 8 years. While they did note that they're good coworkers, nice facilities, snacks and drinks, free game subscriptions, the cons far outweighed that, saying that the company's leadership has lost its vision. They've given up on innovating anything because of financial woes or incompetent, but that the company right now is placing a much higher value on a quick buck than a good game. And the final comment was some advice to management, and that when it's time to sell the EverQuest franchise, please make sure you choose someone who will do it justice. And that main comment alone sparked a lot of comments on Reddit about, is Daybreak Games looking to sell off their intellectual properties? And in this case, it's probably not so much PlanetSide 2 as it is EverQuest at this point. Not that I know that that's even going to happen. But again, there was a lot of back and forth between people, and Roxy jumped in and chimed in saying, that this is a former employee, most likely hit by layoffs, commenting driven by emotion. There's no plans to sell off any of the IPs, and zero talks of that happening within the company itself. And there were certainly some people who didn't believe her, but again, this is the information that we have regarding this at this point. Again, my personal thought, and I'm going to include a link to this Reddit post because I feel more people should take a look at it, read through it and stuff like that. My opinion on this is, more than anything, if Daybreak Games was to get rid of any IP, I don't think that it would be PlanetSide at this point. And the reason being is because they're launching PlanetSide Arena. And there's this huge push and selling of PlanetSide Arena stuff that I can't see them getting rid of the PlanetSide IP at this point, because they'll have two titles with PlanetSide in the name that will be running concurrently and could be pushing players from one to the other and back and forth. Whereas since EverQuest Next got shut down forever ago at this point, I don't feel that there's really any innovation going on within EverQuest. And granted, I don't play EverQuest. I don't play EverQuest 2. I'm a World of Warcraft player, not an EverQuest player, so I'm really just talking out of my ass on this one. I don't have any inside information. I've really never played EverQuest at all. But my gut says nothing is going to be happening with PlanetSide 2. And I've also got a point at everything that Nick said in his letter last week, is that you've got all kinds of things coming along the line. You've got Osher is going to be coming out. You've got DirectX 11 is going to be coming out. You've got the NSO is going to be coming out. And there's all these tidbits going back and forth saying, this is what they've done in PlanetSide Arena. We're bringing that to PlanetSide 2 as well. So I just don't see anything happening with the PlanetSide IP at this point regarding Daybreak Games. Now, is there still the off chance that someone will purchase Daybreak Games? Of course. That's always the case. Well, is there a chance that Daybreak Games might purchase somebody else? That's equally something that could happen. I mean, the business world, there's mergers and acquisitions constantly. I work, told you guys in the past, I work for a transfer agency. We deal with mergers and acquisitions all the time. And the M&A activity is there was certainly a lot of it in 2018, and we expect to see a lot of it in 2019 as well. Does that translate directly to the game industry? No, it does not. But again, I think people worrying about Daybreak Games selling off the PlanetSide IP at this point are probably looking a little too far into the future and don't need to worry about it at this point. Could I be wrong? Yes, it's just my opinion on this. With that, though, let's move on to housekeeping and wrap this up, just like I'm going to go finish wrapping up my Christmas presents today.
Housekeeping. Housekeeping.
Come back later, please.
Housekeeping.
Not now.
Housekeeping.
Go away.
I coming anyway?
So like I said, I did get a couple emails this week, and the first one I have is from Operator 3172, who is a PlanetSide 2 player on PS4. And he did kind of clue me in that he was going to be sending me a very long email this week, and he's not lying. It's practically a book. But I wanted to give him and the PlayStation 4 players the ability to air their gripes about PlanetSide 2 on my show, because I feel like there's times they're treated like second-class citizens. And even though Nick has come out and said multiple times that's not the case, it still feels that way sometimes. But Operator 3172 wrote, as a fellow PS4 player, I must echo Gandhi's concerns regarding the PS4 version of the game, in that you mentioned in the latest podcast episode. The PS4 version of the game has had massive performance and bug issues since launch. The majority of the performance issues have been the result of memory leaks caused by a poorly programmed UI. The devs themselves admitted this at one point, specifically in regards to how the DX11 upgrade would help PS4, if I remember correctly. The remaining performance issues are caused by the fact that the game runs at full ultra all the time. We don't need the fanciest particle effects and shadows. They detract more from the PS4 experience than they add. The particle effects in particular cause frame rate drops in close quarters combat engagements. One of the more concerning aspects about the hitching issue the game has been experiencing is that the community has confirmed what is causing the issue. However, the developers have done nothing to fix it, even temporarily. This shows that they are not listening to what the PS4 community has been saying. We know it is the alerts, the gaining ground alert in particular, that causes the frame hitching. Yet we have seen no sign from the developers that they are even aware of our knowledge of this. I'm not even sure if they have acknowledged that they are specifically aware of the hitching issue. At this point, I would actually recommend that they issue a formal apology as the game is virtually unplayable in its current state. The blue screens have always been bad, however now we have to deal with hitching issues as well. Given this, the PS4 community has seen a massive population drops and overall low morale. Some actual feedback and communication on these issues from the devs would go a long way to improving community morale, and I don't just mean candidly replying to comments on the subreddit. I mean actually making a post or two themselves. Like Gandhi, I also find it very concerning that none of the dev team play on console. I also find it concerning that the usual excuse I hear from level-headed people on PC, such as yourself, and the devs as to why they don't play on PS4 is very simpler. It's always the same one. I'm bad with a controller. Now, I don't expect you or the devs to come migrate to PS4. I don't even expect you or other level-headed PS2 content creators to play on PS4 all that often. However, if you don't play on PS4, you can't be informed about the problems the PS4 players have, and you can't know who the players on PS4 are. I do, however, expect the devs to play on the PS4 version on a routine basis, and it's not just in a test environment with 12 people or less on the server. You can't get an accurate read of what is going on with the game that way. Another concerning thing I have seen in regards to the lack of knowledge about the PS4 version is that I have seen in the PC community for PS2 an outright and open bigotry towards PS4 players. It is honestly quite appalling and concerning that the PC community is able to be so open in their hatred of the PS4 community. I often see people excusing their behavior by saying that we detract from the PC experience and that the PS4 port degrades the PC version of the game. This level of ignorance is quite frankly concerning, and it goes to show that the vast majority of the PC community has no idea what it is like to play on PS4. As a PS4 player, I cannot possibly see how we can take development resources away from the PC version when we have gotten no real active development to my recollection since they brought implants to the PS4. Everything else has come to PS4 at the same time as PC. We have seen no significant performance improvement or bug fix patches in months. I also find the PC community's behavior toward the PS4 community concerning, as it is reminiscent of anti-Semitic and racist behaviors. Lastly, I find the notion of PlanetSide Arena coming to PS4 extremely concerning. However, I find this unlikely given the treatment of the PS4 community, though I suppose it is possible. I sent a support ticket into DBG to see if PS4 members were eligible to receive the free copy of Arena that PC members received, and I received the following. Thank you for waiting on us to get back to you. We appreciate it. Also, thank you for your support of the game. Sadly, this particular promotion was directed toward PC players of PlanetSide 2. We apologize for any difficulty this may cause, and thank you for your patience and understanding with this matter. Take care and have a nice weekend. I found this extremely concerning for multiple reasons. The first being the possibility they could indeed be planning to bring Arena to PS4, and they want to wait and offer this deal with the PS4 version of the game. The second being that I pay the same $14.99 a month that PC players pay. I pay the same fee for PS2, and only PS2. I do not get the benefits of All Access membership. There is no way to link my PSN and DBG accounts. What I pay for gets me significantly less than what an all-access member gets for the same price. This should be an outrage for this alone. The PS4 community is not a piggy bank for DBG to go shake money out of whenever they need a little extra cash. We are people who happen to enjoy playing one of the games that they produce and we are willing to support further development and maintenance of the game. Their lack of willingness to properly maintain the game is deeply troubling and may lead to further loss of game population and ultimately revenue. I highly enjoy playing PS2. However, the game is becoming increasingly unplayable for myself and many other members of the community. We do not have infinite patience for the developers to fix the bugs. Furthermore, being treated as second-class citizens has never bred success in any environment. I have also sent a copy of this email to Serious Gaming on Discord. He was quite sympathetic about the situation. I have not yet published this information at large, however, so the majority of the PS4 community is not fully aware of it. I am hoping that the dev team will be able to fix the issues with the PS4 version of the game soon. However, given their track record, I doubt it. They still have yet to remove beta from the client name. Who knows how many players they have lost over the years to the unfixed bugs and frequent blue screens. Adding in alert rewards has only made crashes worse. This is due to the fact that they still have not found a way to grant credit for an alert when you crash. I myself and many of my outfit members and countless others have all blue screened 5 minutes before the end of a continent lock alert. This results in you getting nothing for spending an hour and a half fighting against Vano tryhards and NC Overpop in a 2-to-1 double team to not only lose, but to be given absolutely nothing for your time and misery. I have been saving some footage of the hitching issue and intend to put together a video showcasing the issue soon. Sincerely, the Operator 3712. Now, some of you are probably listening to this. This is back Derringer's thoughts now. Some of you are probably listening and saying, Derringer, why did you just spend all this time reading that entire email to you? Because it was quite long, and why didn't you just respond to it via email rather than go through the whole thing? And in the Operator 3712's defense, he even said to me, he said, if this is too long, cut it down, read only the parts that you want. But I felt it was more important to read this start to finish. And the reason is I don't know the majority of the stuff that he's talking about, because he's absolutely right. I do not play on the PS4 anywhere near as much as he does, his outfit does, and anybody else who plays 100% of their time on the PS4. And he's absolutely right. The PC side, face it, guys, there are many times that we treat PS4 as second-class citizens. I've said it many times. They're treated like the redheaded stepchild. I won't go so far to say that it's reminiscent of anti-Semitic or racist behaviors like he says, because I think that's maybe a little bit of a stretch. Granted, he'll probably email me something that shows something specifically anti-Semitic and racist from a PC player to a PS4 player, then sure. If that happens, that happens. But I did feel it was important that I read the entire email in its entirety, because it's good to get the absolute distilled maybe it's not the right word because it was so long, all of the thoughts from someone who plays exclusively on the PS4, what they feel is with the game itself. And I'm surprised reading this that you even continue to play the game, because if this was happening to me on PC, I would have been gone a long time ago. I would not be podcasting anymore, and I would not be interacting with the developers at all if I was a main player on the PS4. So I got to tip my hat to you guys who do continue to play on the PS4, and maybe 2019 will be the year that some of this is fixed. Maybe DirectX 11 is the fix that you guys need. I don't know. In the meantime, please keep sending me information like this so that I can make everybody else aware of it, because it's obvious that we don't know exactly what's going on the PS4 when we're main PC players. So again, thank you for that email. Moving on, I did have another email, though, that I did want to go to, and that was from Matt9. And he wrote, PlanetSide 2 for life, time, sub. He says, I now suspect that Agent Nutbox to Agent Nibbles, Project RKB is Go, I repeat, Project RKB is Go, was actually a reference to your plans to get this lifetime subscription all along. Am I right? Matt9, no, you are not right. Sorry that that special thing that I said at the beginning of his show is still going to remain unknown until the person who asked me to read it lets me know that I can read it. And we're just going to leave it at that. You're probably not going to know till next year. So that's it for this week's show, though. How can you get in touch with me or the show? First, visit my website, www.instantactionpodcast.com. Send me an email like the Operator 3172 did, or Matt9 did. You can also call me and leave me a voicemail, 347-4VM-4PS2. Those digits are 347-486-4772. You can also follow the show on Twitter at Instact Podcast, and you can follow me on Twitter at The Derringer. But in closing, if you've enjoyed the show, please leave me a Christmas review on any of your podcast listening avenue of choice, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, anywhere else. Also, feel free to tell your friends and outfit mates about the show. But finally, thanks for listening, and keep spamming that Join Combat, formerly known as Instant Action button. Happy holidays, everybody.